Alright, welcome. Hey, I wanted to make this tutorial on how to make eyes pop um, on portraits like this. This is for a senior photo shoot that I did. But anyway, let's get right into it. Um, so we're going to come up here on the eyes. Let's see. Okay, so I've made a new layer. And then what we're going to actually do is I always make a new layer just because I don't want to use the actual one. So I just copied that, which is Command J. Then let's head over here and we're actually going to create 3 new layers. Start with layer 1. So we're going to get our brush tool is the first thing we're going to do. And then we're going to take this to all the way to 1, which is the thinness of the brush, the thick and thinness of the brush. This is as thin as you can get, so it's pretty much going to be, I'll show you real quick. So let's go to like a black color. So I mean, that's how thin it is. Pretty thin. So that's kind of what we're going to be doing. Bear with me here because I actually I can't find my history. I don't know where my history panel is. Anyway, alright, so we got our brush tool, right? So I'm going to go in here a little bit further on the eye. And so anyway, I'm on my brush tool. We're actually going to hit on a Mac, which is Option, Alt Option. And so I'm going to take like a color like that, just a sample color. And so I'm going to click on there and I'm actually going to exaggerate that color quite a bit. So we'll go there. So what I want to do is come in here and make little lines, because this was her. I just took a sample of that color and exaggerated it like that. So we'll just come in here and throw a little bit of color right there. So we'll go over here on the same layer, and this eye's not as in focus, but that's alright. So we'll come in here and just add this around the pupil there. Something along the lines of that. That gets us a pretty good start. I might come over here and just add a little bit more just to really get a good pop. Okay, so then we'll go to our layer 3 mask. I'm sorry, layer 3 layer. And then so we're on a brush tab still. So we'll sample another color. We'll sample that color there. So she obviously has blue eyes. And we'll come in here and add this color of blue. You can barely see it. So I'll come in here and make a little bit thicker of that color. And I'll even come into this first layer that we did. Just add these. Just like that. Okay, then we'll go to our next layer. And once again, we'll take a sample of, I kind of want a different, I mean, they're blue, but I want to be sure to get all types of blue. So we'll go to this real bright blue right there and see what happens. So it's a different layer of blue, different color there. So I'll come in here and add it just a few more places, something like that. So really what I'm trying to do is just exaggerate these eyes. I mean, there's different ways that you can go in here and make eyes pop different ways, but this is my favorite. So I'll call that good. Let me zoom out just a little bit. So what I'll do now is go in here and typically I like to put these on a, probably something like a screen. Where did screen go? It's only 12:04 a.m. so you know it's late, so bear with me. There we go, so they're on a screen now. And then what I'll do is just shift click and then command G, create that group, that way it can come in here and see my before and after. So, which is pretty significant. So let me zoom back in for you. We'll make it to where you can look on both eyes there. So here you go, there's your before, there's your after. Before, after. So yeah, I mean that just makes it to where it's, I mean it pops a lot more. Because you can even see the way the reason why the brush is that way is because here, let's take it off and let's zoom back in. And so you can actually see in the eye itself, you can see these little, almost look like brush strokes. So that's the way the eye naturally is. So I just exaggerated it really. And from a picture point where the typical person is looking at this, they're never going to know that that's even there. Except now you do. But, see, there's the difference again. So if I really wanted to even increase, you know, that exaggerated look, I can come in here and probably hit Command J, create another group, and it just makes it that much more strong. Which, I don't know, I think I might kind of like. Now that I'm sitting here playing with that. I think I like it. It might be a little bright. You can always take the opacity down just a little bit. See if I can create a group in a group, which I can. So, yeah, there you go. So there's a before, after, before, after. So let's zoom out a little bit. You can tell there's your before, after, before, after. So it just really makes the eyes pop. Isn't that crazy? And then so for example, let's call this one good. Let's save this one. Yeah. Alright, so the way I've got it set up right now is it's actually saving to Lightroom, which is my other photo editing software that tons of people use. But anyway, I use it as well because I love it. So this is going to take a little bit because my computer's doing other things. So I will cut this back in when it's done. Alright, so we are back in Lightroom now. And so yeah, here's the difference. So I'll put this in full screen mode. Let's actually go back to the before, full screen mode. So there's your before, there's your after, before, after. So there you go. That's how you make the eyes pop a little bit better. That's my, that's my way of doing it. That's what I like. That's what I found. Actually, read this tutorial on how to do this, so I took it into action and just wanted to pass it along. Pretty cool. Let's see if we can zoom in just a little bit. That's your after. There's your before. After. Okay, so my computer's being slow because there's a lot going on. It's just much better. Eyes pop a lot more. You can't even tell. I mean, they look like normal eyes. You can't tell that I put the streaks in there from Photoshop. One more time. Before. And here comes the after. There you go. Alright, this tutorial has been brought to you by Lightroom and Photoshop. Just kidding. They didn't pay for any of this. They didn't pay me. But you know what? I like to do this anyway. So there you go. It's long enough tutorial. Pretty cool way to do it. Alright. Adios.